Hello, this is Brandon Finero from Black Vanguard Hearts, and I'm here to show my capstone project's work for Milestone 3, the second sprint of the month. And for this month, a lot of my Jira tasks focused around um, things that were around the character. So, for example, this one was basically finishing the redesigned character, um, changing some of the state machine abilities, how they worked, and the aiming, adding an aim offset, fixing the new weapon, and also updating the character's abilities, which I did have progress on, but the hurricane took away my internet, and when I went to recover the files, it was reverted to an older save, which was unfortunate. But a majority of it was spent on the character, but I also finished the construct in the blueprints. So I added the logic for the level to take only damage from fireballs. And when they take damage from fireballs, it would reduce in size, shrink, and when it shrinks, it also puts a hit counter on, so it knows how many times it's been hit. And when it shrinks to under 20%, it will destroy itself and add to a construct destroyed variable, which will affect the level uh, progress because you need to destroy 3 constructs to progress in the level. But yeah, that was part of my Jira task code. But as far as the player goes, I could show a lot of the stuff I did for the player. So I fixed the new gun for both the primary and secondary firing, assault rifle and shotgun. This is the logic for the firing and also the aiming for when you're running around in the world. And this is the logic for the bullets to spawn from the projectiles. And this is the projectile itself. The shotgun was a little tricky. Professor helped me figure that one out. I had it almost down correctly. There was just a couple little things I had to tweak. But the logic of the shotgun had to be tweaked a little bit more today to prevent the spamming. There was an error, or not an error. It was more of a bug where the character would be able to spam the shotgun bullets in a quick succession because it is normally on a cooldown for 1.5 seconds. But now you can't spam the shotgun. And another thing I changed about the state machine was while you're running, um, you cannot shoot and sprint. So while you're sprinting, it will automatically decelerate the player to the jogging state, no matter which direction you go. But yeah, this is the constructs that are placed in the new level. They do not take any damage from anything but the fireball abilities, which is part of the way that the level mechanic is designed to work. So I would say that it would be in the build, but there was a slight error that we had run into with the older players' fireball. It cast only to the undead enemies, and we had to redesign, or we have to edit the code in the next sprint to make it deal damage to these newer constructs. But once that's fixed, these constructs are fully functional and ready to go. So with that, I will pass it over to one of my teammates.
Hey, this is Sam from Black Vanguard Hearts. I'm gonna show what I've been working on in this sprint. First things first, this is the sprint zip. I actually unzipped it and it went to an old folder that we made, but this is actually the current sprint. It's just updated the content of the folder, as you can see. Anyway, so when we come to the level select, we've actually moved my toy box to the MVP so that I can showcase what I have done, since we actually haven't moved it to any of the levels yet. But here we go. Right now, this is what I've been working on mostly. This is the ranged enemy. As you can see, he will shoot projectiles at us. And if we get hit by them, we take some damage, as well as if we stand inside them, we will take 10 damage per second for 3 seconds. See, one of the bugs that we had that I had working on him was that after taking damage from this, I would like respawn and the damage would be carry over. But as you can see, I respawned and the damage didn't carry over. And one of the things I need to fix about him is that when I move within 500 units of him, he's supposed to move back if he's not shooting, but right now that doesn't apply. So yeah, that's one of the things I've been working on this month or this sprint. The other thing is we have some hit detection for the spear. It was sometimes like exploding, colliding with box colliders and sphere colliders that some objects had. But right now we have it so that it will like no longer do that, and it also gives us a little tool on the top left that says what it collided with, so that I can debug it in case it happens again or something similar happens. Besides that, the other thing that was like a reported bug that I had was the fireball. When you shoot the fireball, it didn't used to do the correct damage, but now, as you can see, it does. It's just very little right now, but yeah. I also created this tool that basically will show the radius of the fireball, which the big purple one, like the light purple, is the initial damage, and the dark purple is gonna be like um, the radius where it does like less damage. It also moves away, like depending on how far the enemy is, it does more or less damage. And this is what is going to be implemented next month or next sprint. It's gonna be uh, a steam engine that is gonna work when you hit it with fire or ice. It will detect that it's been hit, which it already does. But I can't showcase like anything it does really, because it's gonna be like, oh, if I got hit by fire and then it opens up a door, or oh, I got hit by the ice spear and then it will open like the the door or like trigger an elevator. But right now that functionality isn't in. That's gonna be what I work on the next sprint. So now if we move into the Jira tasks, here we go. This is filtered with only me right now. Basically, it says the task that I have done. This is regarding the gas enemy. Um, I've moved that I created the base zombie and that it shoots the player. These are the tasks I have remaining with it. Uh, as you can see. So then we have shot perception. The enemies will now react when they get when they get shot by me, which they didn't used to do that. That's also been moved to done. These are the bugs that I was talking about. Somebody flagged them and put them here, and I already fixed it. Um, yeah, I reworked the damage. And now for the next sprint, I'll be working on the stamina system for the character, as well as introducing the steam engines that I talked about, and fixing the bug where the gas enemy won't run away from you. Yeah, and I was told if I have some extra time, I'll finish interactable NPC. But yeah, that's what I've been doing for this sprint. So yeah.
Hello, hello. My name is Caleb from DUI. And today I'll be presenting my part and my share of Black Vanguard Hearts. So I'll start from Pro first. I originally had made the intro, but some of it got cut off. I'm just gonna open this up because I already extracted everything. One folder. Cool. Just want to make sure all my audio is working. But yeah, this is our Pro first. I'm gonna start from Pro first, so you can see everything, the most updated stuff. It goes all the way down. And then this is our builds and the most recent stuff. So, in this project by Vanguard Hearts, in the game we call the Corrupted Protocol, during the sprint, I mainly worked with the level design mechanics and the configurations of the maps, and also just the mainly polishing, like the design and the detailing of certain things, and what we wanted to capture the feeling of walking through in the gameplay of our game. Because I feel like that's extremely important. So that's kind of what I did, and also very little feedback on certain mechanics. So I'll just close this out, and then open up our game. So I'm gonna go ahead and a little bit of max. Okay, a little bit more appropriate. We're gonna start at the level select. So I did the UI previously. However, I did add the updated maps and levels. So right here is the MVP or the toy box. This is our test level and test environment. This is the level I work on. This is the level that I had updated, and another level I had updated. This is my primary level that we're gonna start off with. So, the player spawns in like kind of what this is, this forest. Some of these materials aren't updated, so this doesn't actually show up on the most current and latest iterations of the map. But this is what shows so far. So I'm just gonna go back over to Jira to kind of go through some of the stuff I worked on. So I had made level specific checkpoints that end up giving off different particle effects and different communication to show the player that okay, I'm in a different level. This is actually a different setting. This is not just some abstract, sequencing gameplay. So I had added I'm sorry. I had made the addition of the basic level checkpoint. So I first went that right here. This is the basic one. So it does that beam, and it also shows up as like kind of like moving and pulsing stones right there. For the fire one, I had made like lava raining down, and also like explosiveness coming down from the earth, and the checkpoint itself, like this pad right here, instead of sand, it's magma. For the ice, I turned that block right there into a huge ice block, and then had shards of ice come through the floor and steam coming up from the ice, melting and everything. A little bit of a foreshadowing for one of our levels. For the lightning, I had made a lightning beam, so I can actually show you guys an editor just real quick because I feel like it is a little bit of interesting interaction. So while that's booting up, I'll just continue on. So something else I worked on my level was the level entry. So for this build, I had made sure that not for this build, but for this sprint, I had tried to make sure that I wanted to make sure my level stood out. And so I had made the huge, beams up in the sky with the buildings surrounding it, giving it more of a village feel and more of like that kind of grim, very very telling, life that we might be creating in our game. And then I also dealt with the trees and making the mock-up of the village graveyard and the staircase leading to it, kind of that entry way, and detailing that out. Next, I'll go into is the village details. Um, so I didn't finish it, but I was able to kind of gather a lot of references from the rope bridge that I wanted to create. Um, we do have a key system that would allow me access to the graveyard, and then as well to add to that, the fixer stores have been created, and I'll show you the rest right now, primarily for orbs and the level entry. So this is the game. You basically come over here. Like I said, this is not the most updated version, so these trees are not white, but have a brown. Oh, this is a zombie. Okay, cool. There should be another one out in the distance. I'm just gonna turn down the audio just down a little bit more. Sound going off in the back. So for this level, you collect the orb right here. This is the entry to the graveyard I was talking about. So I'm just gonna stand off right here, and there's a volume to kill the player as well. and these are parts of the village. Oh yeah, it's right there. Then higher ones up, and then all of these. And these statues actually move once hit with the collision. So yeah. And then that's also moving. And so you actually see this zombie very very eager to kill us. And if you actually come over here, there's actually a ammo crate that ammo locker that the player can collect, and just trying to use for their exploration. And as you kind of walk, you kind of come through a lot of rocks and some debris, even tilting rock trees leading us to the village entry, and even this sword, this bloody sword. So as you make your way up the watchtower, you can actually get a better view of what you're going to expect, which is this. Oh, sorry. Let me just go to the top floor. It's a little bit easier. So because this isn't the most updated version, there's actually gas panels right here, which allow the player to see. So I'll just use a little bit of the parkour, allow the player to see the village that you're going to be going over to. So we start making our way over, and there's no fall damage, which is great because I would have definitely died. And so we're actually able to open that door through using the I'm blinking right now. the keys. And so right there are the captains, the tank captains more specifically. A lot more of a difficult enemy to end up fighting. Grab a health pot. And for this level, the collecting the orbs is a lot more important than anything else for that matter. Oh, I died. Grab the orb. Let's make our way back over. Grab this orb. Play with the boxes again. Love that. And I think I have to collect the last orb. I think. No, I believe I collected them all. And we'll go over to the level end. Fight off the remaining zombies. If they come out. Oh god. That's exactly why we have our lightning. And ice to slow them. Lightning to back us up. Get on the top card because it's a little easy to get those headshots. And boom. Just like that, we have our access to the end. And you can choose left to go get the chest, or right to off level, and go to the ice. So next I'll be showing the fireball level. The way we end up doing it is ice sphere before the fireball, just a little bit of a better integration. It's just some still mocking up we have to do with the UI. So this is the updated fireball level. You'll see there's a lot of newer changes to this level. It's definitely a lot more intense, but also a lot more detailed. It has the stalagmites on the floor and the stalactites on the ceiling, kind of helping to build in that scenery. So we'll just do some little bunny hopping. So for this level, we have to actually use the fireball. It's probably the most important thing to help you right now. So this level, use the fireball to end up destroying these constructs. So we destroy them. So I actually grab some height right now. So actually you'll see that one was a different color than the ones we've been fighting. That was just our spitter zombie. You'll see that this is our regular infected. That was our spitter zombie, one of the newer mechanics that we have made. But I'll continue on back to the Jira. So past the things I had done and worked with, I had made some sound and feedback when the player dies, as well as including the sound for the mana regenerating. I had fixed the basic checkpoint, kind of fixing off that bug, and then making the orb pillars balance with the jumping. So I was able to stop that rotation, make the pad jump way larger, and made the rotating factor a lot smaller. And then I also fixed the nav mesh as well on my level, made it much larger and a lot more appropriate to kind of get to different places as the enemy. And then some of the last stuff I did, so this kind of shows the sound. Um, then the last thing I had done was, of course, the ice cave, which is what we're looking at. More so the fire cave, but the ice constructs. So we're using the fireball to melt down these ice constructs. And in this next sprint coming up, I'll do a little more detailing, try to show exactly that this is a colder climate cave, or I think something a little bit more temperate. But that will come as we go. And then the second thing I had worked on was the lab, and I probably had to show that in editor. So I'll just finish it off. A little bit harder to fight them. Way easier if you get headshots though. So as you see, there's a lot of different pathing you can get on this level right here. I wanted to make sure that was an integral part of the experience for the player, kind of creating that control. You're just a little too tall there. So you see these spikes right here. It's better to get a running jump like that, or even these walkways that are suddenly placed in, and even another jump right here. I have about 3 jumps in here, and some spitters placed in the middle. Oh, yep, this is one of them. Okay, so that's that for this level. So I'll grab this last orb real quick and walk all over to the next level. So we had decided to make this this integration between the levels because we wanted to make it a little bit more ominous. Kind of like the right room kind of gives off the feeling of the sterileness, but we're still inside the mountain, so it's just like, okay, where are we? What exactly are we doing? But then that would continue on to the ice level. So from here, I'll go back to the menu. And so right now the problem is it loads back this level. It actually loads in the correct level, but because both of the maps are on the same level in Unreal, it just kind of puts the player at that default start rather than that one. So that's why we show it from the editor. So I'll just quit so we can leave the game, and I'll show you the editor for sure. So I'll show it briefly, just so I'm a little bit more convenient for time. So this is the updated version of Sam's level, the laboratory. So I'll show like a larger version. Pretty much the start is around from where my cursor is, all the way to about this room, and then the player goes down to the basement, and that's the quickest way out. And then there's another path that requires the player to go from the start over here all the way down, collects an orb that allows access to this room right here, and then basically drops the player all the way down to the basement without having to go through these different rooms and fight several enemies. There are positions for rest, and there are definitely a lot of interesting things that are going on in this level that we plan to try to highlight going forward. There are 2 staircases from going downstairs right here, going downstairs in the ammo crate room, and then going downstairs to this back room that leads to the basement. So there's 3 ways you can get up, and 3 ways you can get down from the 2nd floor, and only 1 way you can get down. Well, I'm sorry, 2 ways you can actually get down to the basement, either falling through or going down the stairs. So I'll start right here from this part, try to show it quickly. I won't show everything, so I'll just run down real quick. This would be where you get the orb. One back down. Health icon right here. So this is the stairs I was talking about you can skip through. So you don't actually have access to go through, but you can grab the ammo crate if you were to be out of ammo. But you can actually see what this room entails. So it's a little cool addition that I wanted to have in part of this level. You can't see you either. So it's a little bit of advantage to let you know what you're kind of going against. I'll walk back down and go to the main, and I'll just grab the checkpoint, communicate the checkpoint already. And players actually communicate to that checkpoint grab by seeing that. Because there's no other way beforehand to actually see that. So grab checkpoint to open this door, have another glass exit, and continue down. So kill those infected. You actually see there's some computers right here with something on it. Message inbound. Explosion in upper sector. Level 3 security breach. All personnel must evacuate. Okay. Those are interesting. And there's another orb right here that's supposed to be used for getting through the door. So we'll just collect that just to make sure that we have all the access we need. And it seems like the wall is kind of, falling in. Like it's getting destroyed or something. And this is the door, I think. Yep. So pretty much interrupt that room. To a lot of zombies. A lot of different zombies here. Let's just try to get everybody's attention to try to them all at once. It's a little difficult because there are so many. You'll see. Oh. Oh, stop. I clicked out. No. Oh my god. The perfect time to use lightning. Well, honestly, the set drops. It's really useful as well. Really hard fought victory. So let's just go grab that health real quick because definitely gonna need that. And you actually see that these computers actually say something different. Operation combustion failed. All personnel must evacuate. And kind of asking what's Operation combustion. This is the projector, kind of trying to foreshadow towards the player. And then this is that room that we couldn't get access to beforehand. And then this is the final room, which allows access to that would also this room as well. So we'll head downstairs. Just gets a little bit more dim down here. And we see one socket. Let's try to send some ice spears at it. Oh, oh. These are strong. Much better aim for those headshots, and this is pretty much level end. Thank you for watching, and that was pretty much what I worked on during this sprint. My level, adding some more detailing to that. Brandon's level with the cave, and the construction with the um, design of it, and as well as Sam's level with the integration of the lab and the facility as a whole, and that kind of leads into Najee's. So thank you again, and I hope you enjoy my teammates' presentations.
Hello, my name is Najee Nightingale, and I'll be going over what I have done for Sprint 1 for the Geotask story and the bugs. So here is the build, the team name, and the file. I already have extracted the zip file here and put it into this folder, Final Build, Windows. Here's the game, and the game is already up. So to level select, go into Lightning Strike level, which is my level. I review the task story and bugs that I have done completed. So this one is the increase Z control velocity. This is the jumping for the character. Description: increase Z control velocity. Summary: the vertical Z axis control velocity of the player has increased, causing unintended movement behavior during jumps and falls. This results in faster or slower vertical movement affecting the player precision. Expected result: the player should have a balanced, readable vertical velocity, allowing smooth jumps, falls, and landings. This is always a bug here that I worked on. Actual result: the player vertical movement, both upward, and downward, is either too fast or too slow, making jumps unpredictable and causing difficulties in landing accurately. Steps to replicate. Load the game and start the level with both platforms. Perform a jump or observe the speed of the player upward or downward movement. Notice that the vertical velocity is significantly altered, making it hard to control jumps or falls. Try landing on nearby platforms to see how the increased Z control velocity affects precision. And then lastly, this tie, the issue heavily impacts players' control and precision, making gameplay difficult, especially in platforming or any mechanics that rely on accurate vertical movement. And this took me 25 minutes to do. So here, this is the Z control for the jump. So I try jumping on. Do this here. This is kind of fixed for the Z control of the character. So next thing is another bug is the increased vert on player jump heights. This took me 35 minutes to do. Description: the player vertical jump height unexpectedly increased beyond the intended value, causing difficulty in level navigation and breaking certain gameplay mechanics. The player should jump at a constant moderate height, allowing for smooth platforming and level transversal. The player is jumping much higher than expected, causing the player character to overshoot platforms and break impressions. The attracted jump height can make it easier to bias certain obstacles unintentionally. Steps to replicate, open the game and load the level where the player can jump, perform a jump using the button space bar or control button. Observe the jump, which will be significantly higher than intended. Then try to land on a nearby platform and notice how the increased height affects transversal. Medium: while the issue does not prevent game progress, it makes the play movement feel unbalanced and disrupts gameplay flow, particularly in platforming sections. Now, you've already seen me do this before, as I was jumping on these platforms here. As an example, see that? So be very careful how the player uses the jump. Next one, I want to show you that out. Audio cues. Now, I'm going to read the ones that I have done, that was assigned to me. As you see here, there's 4 that were assigned to me. So the first one is record or source the sound of fireball causing casting, crackling flames, magical whoosh. This took me 40 minutes to do. Next one is record or source the sound of the ice ability casting, crystal chim, ice whoosh, 40 minutes. Aspiring sound effects ain't that easy. Add a sound cue when ability is activated, magical charge sound. It can be. This was 47 minutes. This is for all the abilities. And this last one is create a sound effect for lightning ability, 20 minutes. So let me go to the game. So now, if I press F, Here's a fire one. That's activation and the sound effect for the fireball. Here's now the ice one. Hear the impact? That's the ice one. Now here's the lightning one. Hear that? That's lightning ability sound effect. So these four things that I have done that was assigned to me. Next one, this is the implement sound effects for activation. Electric hum, door unlocking sounds. This is going to pertain to the puzzle door, which I will definitely explain later on. This will be 50 minutes to do, but I will showcase that later on during the puzzle, the pressure plate puzzle to unlock the door. This is actually part of that. This one here is random fixes / game additions. So now this one description, this task involves adding several key features to enhance the game's overall emissions and gameplay experience. These additions include level-specific music, a dynamic sky and atmosphere system, and adjustments to the lightning strike effect. By changing the spawn emitter, the goal is to make each level more unique and immersive through tailored music, atmosphere changes, and improving the visual impact of lightning strikes. User story, as a player, I want each level to feel distant with its own music and environment so I can feel more measured in the theme of the level. Additionally, when I use lightning strike ability, I wanted to see a dynamic and visually striking effect that changes based on the emitter's position for better feedback, which I'll show how lightning ability works again on an enemy. Completion criteria task, but it took me 2 hours and 40 minutes to do this. For the level, specific music, implement any background music that aligns the theme of each level, ensure the music transitions smoothly between levels, test music for proper looping and adjusting volumes where necessary. Now this, I remember that I had done this before, but for some reason that the music background, it's not working. That I had to figure out why. But there is music when I enter in on the main menu. Level specific sky atmosphere changes, create different sky boxes for each level, ensuring they match the mood and theme, adjusting lightning, fog, and other atmosphere effects to reflect changes in time, weather, or location. Test sky atmosphere changes to ensure they load properly when entering a new level. The lightning strike changing spawn emitter. Modify the lightning strike ability to have a new more dynamic emitter. Ensure the lightning strike visually adapts to different environments around enemies. Well, actually, it's more of the enemies actually. Test the impact of the new emitter. Ensure smooth performance and visual clarity. So as I said before, in the main menu there is music, which I definitely will show you. But the music in the background of my level is not working quite well. Sorry. Here is a level specific sky atmosphere change. So now how I had to go to outside actually, which is a bit far, but I'll go. Well, I'm not. I will show you how lightning really works on the enemy. As you see there. Here outside, you can see this guy. What you say this person. So here outside, you can see the sky, the atmosphere. And you saw how lightning effect works on the enemies. Wow, this one. Oh wait, I was going to show you about the level background music, but I'll show that part later on. Next thing is the pressure plate puzzle to unlock door. So here, description, in this puzzle, players must step on a pressure plate to unlock a nearby door. The plate is activated when the player or an object with sufficient weight is placed on it, triggering the mechanism that opens the door. The puzzle encourages players to explore their surroundings and figure out how to manipulate objects to their environment. To press down on the plate. The door remains locked until the pressure plate is continuously held down, requiring players to either stay on the plate or find a way to leave a weighted object behind. The challenge may involve finding suitable objects or navigating the environment to maintain pressure on the plate while moving toward the door. This mechanic can be expanded with multiple pressure plates, timers, or resetting the mechanism to increase the complexity and variety of the puzzle. The story of this is, as a player, I want to solve a pressure plate puzzle by standing on or placing an object on the plate, which will unlock and open the door, allowing me to progress through the level. This took me 3 days, 3 hours, and 54 minutes to complete. The completion criteria is create pressure plate blueprint, create a door blueprint, connect a pressure plate to door, and sound and visual feedback. The subtasks that I have here are laid out. But first, I'm going to go to the door. Patty zombies here. Here's the door. And in the door, you can see the pressure plates. There's 3. So go back to the Jira. The first one here says, set up a pressure plate that can detect when the player or an object steps on using collision detection. This will be 4 hours to do. Next one is the plate should provide visual feedback when activated, 3 hours and 50 minutes. This one is design a door that is initially locked and opens only when the pressure plate is activated, 3 hours and 45 minutes to complete. This one is the door should use sliding or rotating animation when opening, 2 hours. This one is link the pressure plate and door using blueprint scripting, 1 hour and 40 minutes. This one is ensure the door opens when the plate is activated and remains open while the plate is pressed, 2 hours and 40 minutes. This one is add sound effects for the pressure plate activation and door opening, 59 minutes. And this one is ensure the player receives visual cue that the puzzle is solved. Doors open, pressure plate reacts, 1 hour. And as I mentioned before, there was a task that was implementing the sound for unlocking the door. This will be it right here. This is part of it right here. It's not a subtask, but it is a part of this door here. So I go into the level. Here is the code to unlock the door. It says BVH. So the door opens up. And it's still see, the sky and all. So that is the mechanic for when the door is sliding open and the pressure plate's being activated. And then my last one I did is the updated level. And this took me 3 days to complete. So description, level overview from start to finish. Level A, entry lava pits and spinning blades, as you saw back there. Objects, the player begins their journey in this level when learning basic movement and jumping mechanics, navigate lava pits, and unlocking the first door with an orb. Starting area, the player begins in a safe starting zone, labeled player start. This area introduces the player to basic controls and objects like collecting orbs to unlocking doors. Jumping over lava pits. After leaving the start area, the lava pits immediately encounter a series of lava pits. They must jump across rock logs or platforms to avoid falling into the lava. The logs may be moving or have very distance between them, adding difficulty. First door puzzle, the player sees a blue door that is locked. To unlock it, they need to collect a blue orb from a nearby room. The player proceeds forward to locate the orb while avoiding hazards. Second puzzle door, the player sees a yellow door that is locked. To unlock it, they must collect a yellow orb from a nearby room. The player proceeds forward to locate the orb while avoiding hazards. Spinning blades objects. Before that, I have the yellow door as the first one and the blue door as the second door, which I have shown before, but I will show it to you again. Spinning blades trap. Before reaching the yellow orb, the player must navigate a series of spinning blades traps. The blades rotate horizontally, forcing the player to time their jumps and movement carefully. This section challenges both timing and algae. Yellow orb connection. Once the spinning blades have passed, the orb connects the yellow orb, which allows the yellow door. This introduces the concept of orb collection as a key mechanic for this progression. In the common introduction, after collecting the yellow orb and unlocking the door, the player faces their first wave of basic zombies, basic soldiers. This introduces combat mechanics, allowing the player to practice basic attacks and movements during combat. So go back here, we start over. Here, this is the background music I was talking about, the main menu. That's part of one of the tasks. So players start up here, up a bit, go over, as I had demonstrated before. Some enemies. Here are the spinning blades. Once you walk past them, jump over them. Yellow orb, like that. More spinning blades. See that? I died. So gotta be very careful with that. Over here, I just collected the blue orb, blue door, that's the second one. And moving on, this will be section B of my level. That was section B. So we go down to, yes, level B, ice wall, lightning ability, and multi-floor puzzles. But it's just only one puzzle that I have in there. Object, the player learns how to use the fire ability to melt ice walls and get introduced to lightning ability, which will be needed to solve puzzles and fight tougher enemies. Now I do have an ice wall there, but for some reason that it's not quite breaking when the player uses the fireball. So I had to leave it at my level until I can remove it. But the player can still learn about lightning ability. It's all the puzzle which I just showed you with the door. Stairs to the second floor. The player climbs the player climbs stairs to the second level, introducing variety to the level's design. This upper floor gives the player a better vantage point and access to new puzzles and enemies. Well, just to new enemies, there are no puzzles upstairs. Ice wall puzzle, the player encounters ice wall that blocks their path. To continue, they must use the fireball unlocked earlier or taught at this point to melt the ice. This reinforces elemental interactions, teaches players that fire is necessary to break ice. Lightning ability deduction. Once past the ice wall, the player reaches a room where they are introduced to lightning ability. This ability will be key for combat and puzzle solving moving forward. The player learns how to use lightning to interact with certain traps and disposal enemies. Yeah. And combat room and zombies and zombie captain. The player must fight through a larger combat room filled with zombies, including the tougher enemies like the zombie captain tank. This section tests the player's ability to manage multiple enemies and uses their new lightning ability in combat. Pressure plate puzzle. After defeating the enemies, the player first sees the code on the three pressure plates and must step on them in the correct order to unlock the door. That opens the path forward to the next section of the level. Now, I just showed you about the puzzle door and how it works. But I will show you the level B, the section B of my level. That right there was the enemy zombie captain. The color is gray. He's upstairs. Here's the ice wall. Looks like that's already broken in the game. I use fireball. See, the ice wall has already been broken. Here, like I told you before, is the zombie tank captains. Go down here. Let me use this on these two enemies here. Here is the text. Here lies a door to the next path forward. To unlock it, step on the three pressure plates to reveal a code. The code to unlock the door is BVH, which I have shown you guys already how I use this. Door opens up. We go past these lightning pit, so be careful. And this leads me into section C of my level. So, level C, Fighting Combat and Lightning Trap Challenge. Objective, master the lightning ability and survive the final arena of zombies waves, including dangerous lightning traps and more difficult platforming. Lightning trap pillars in the void. The player enters a dangerous section filled with lightning trap pillars. Suspended in the void. The player must use the lightning ability to interact with or disable the traps, while also carefully navigating between safe platforms. Missing a jump could send the player into the void or trigger a trap. So for this one, when the player enters the lightning pit, they will die. Had to start from the checkpoint. Red orb puzzle. After passing the lightning trap section, the player collects the red orb. This orb is necessary to open the red door, the final gate to the end of the level. For the final combat room, after collecting the red orb and unlocking the red door, the player enters the final combat arena. Here they face a large group of zombies, including zombie captains and multiple waves of basic zombie soldiers. This room tests the player's mastery of the combat mechanics, especially with the use of lightning and fire abilities to crowd, control, and defeat enemies. Mastering lightning ability, the player must demonstrate their full understanding of the lightning ability to disabling traps, stunning enemies, and using it to combat efficiently. This section rewards skillful use of abilities and quick flex. So the player already will learn about the lightning ability and already got used to it, how it works. Final exit. Once the enemy is defeated, the player first sees the code on the floor pressure plates and must step on them to collect order to unlock the doors. Then moves towards the final exit. The player is congratulated for completing the level, having collectible all orbs and survived the combat trials. So there is no puzzle door at the final end. It's just the battle arena where the player will face off against some basic soldiers, for the zombies, and then the zombie captains. That's pretty much it, which I will show you guys as I dive on in. Key mechanics introduced. Or collecting orbs, blue, yellow, red, locking doors, and serve as critical progression tools. Elemental puzzles using fire to melt ice walls, lightnings, disable traps, and interacting with various elements to progress. So lightning does not quite interact with lightning traps. It does not. It's just that the player has to avoid the lightning pits. Platforming challenges shall be over lava pits, avoiding spinning blades, and navigating through void sections filled with traps. Combat basic and advanced zombies, including zombie captains, with combat growing more difficult as the level progresses. Trap and puzzle mechanics, spinning blades, ice walls, and lightning traps pillars, and variety of challenge to each section of the level. Pressure plate puzzle to unlock certain doors that have a code to them. Final thoughts: this level progressively builds a difficulty, starting with simple jump challenges and ending with advanced combat scenarios and puzzles that requires the use of newly learned abilities. By the end, the player should feel sufficient passion about in their use of fire, ice, and lightning, as well as their ability to navigate dangerous traps and defeat increasingly difficult enemies. So let's move on to our final area, which is the section C. Now, if I jump in, See that? Now I gotta start from my checkpoint. So let's avoid these lightning pits. That again. Red orb. Collected. Move on. More lightning pits. Nice, so let's go back. Here's another red orb. It says to collect 2 red orbs, which I already did. Bring this up. And into our battle arena, a final stop. That was our battle arena. And the player's gonna move up here to the final spot. And you win. End of my tasks and my level that I have completed. Thank you for watching.